Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jane Eddy. I am your financial person in the group. Just a little bit about myself. I've lived in Ormond Beach since the early 70s. I moved down here from Massachusetts with my parents, and the cool thing about Ormond Beach is I've really seen it grow like crazy. I went to the junior high school, Ormond Junior High School, which is now Ormond Middle School. I went to Seabreeze. Back when I was at Seabreeze, I was in 10th grade. They only had 3 years, and it was the 10th graders went from 12 to 5, and the seniors went from 7 to 12 for that 1 year because Spruce Creek opened the following year. So it was kind of cool. It had its advantages. I played on the golf team, so I got to go from 9 to 2, which is even better. Just a little bit more about the area. I remember when Ormond Beach pretty much ended at the railroad tracks. And then from there, I believe it was 2 lanes all the way out to 95. So it's just crazy. Across the street here was the Ormond Beach Recreation Center, and behind it was a ball field, 1 or 2 ball fields. That was kind of cool too. And then Beach Street, if you took Beach Street all the way out to 95, there was nothing after Ormond Beach Junior High School, pretty much, except for Tomoka State Park. But you would go all the way out to 95. You'd go over 95, and on the left there used to be an amusement park called Marco Polo Park. Yeah, not crazy, where Plantation Bay is. And then on the right, somebody had donated a hotel to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and that was where they housed their international campus, even though they were on like every Air Force or every military base in the country. But my first job was with Embry-Riddle, so you can tell I know a little history about Embry-Riddle. I used to give tours over there on the campus when it was really small, and I just didn't see any growth opportunity when I worked there. That's why I left, which is just insane now that I worked in the president's office. And I also was the coordinator for the battleship. I don't know if any of you remember that. I know Joanne does. But it was a house that was created or built by Fred Dana Marsh, who was also real incidental in some of the artifacts out at Tomoka State Park. But it was a big concrete building, and they called it the battleship because it was built like a battleship. And then there was a small building right behind it that was called the tugboat, and supposedly there was a underground passage where he would, his mistress would come and go. So anyway, just some interesting things about the area before I got started. I've been in the financial business for 35 years. It'll be 35 years October 1st. And over the years, I've seen a lot of things change. I have 2 granddaughters. They don't live in the area, but through great technology and changes in technology, I'm able to communicate with them and see them on, my iPad or my computer. So it's really cool what's happened. But as far as the financial business goes, we haven't really seen a lot of changes. Cryptocurrency is really popular right now, but there isn't a whole lot else that's really changed. If you look back over the years, it's 401k plans, IRAs, those type of things. I'll get into that in a minute. What I want to do is I want to read you something first, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know if it's cool, but it's the way it is. Okay, all right. In 2007, Jeff Bezos, then a multi-billionaire and now the world's richest man, did not pay a penny in federal income taxes. He achieved that feat again in 2011. In 2018, Tesla founder Elon Musk, the second richest person in the world, also paid no federal income taxes. What about us, you guys? Michael Bloomberg managed to do the same thing in recent years. Billionaire investor Carl Icahn did it twice. George Soros paid no federal income tax 3 years in a row. Many Americans live paycheck to paycheck, amassing little wealth, paying the federal government a percentage of their incomes that rises if they earn more. In recent years, the median American household earned about $70,000 annually and paid 14% in federal taxes. The highest income tax rate now is 37%. On earnings over $628,000. Hopefully there's a few of you in here that earn more than that. But this is interesting. So remember, they said the average income was $70,000, and we pay, based on $70,000, you pay about 14%. And Scott, you may have something else to say about it. That's these statistics here. Forbes did a research a couple of years ago, And they took the 25 wealthiest people in this country, and this is what it says. Those 25 people saw their worth rise, collected $401 billion between 2014 to 2018. They paid a total of $13.6 billion during that time, during that 5 years. And this is IRA data. That's what shows this. That's a staggering sum, but it amounts to true tax rate of only 3.4%. So it's just they know strategies that are in the tax code that everyday people like us don't know, but it doesn't mean we can't take advantage of those. So what I try to do when I'm working with my clients is to educate them that there are other ways that we can build wealth off the radar of the IRS using the 104, 105-year-old tax code. So what I thought I'd do here is I'm going to draw a circle, kind of like network marketing. And I'm going to draw a dot in the middle and then a line down here. So everyone can see this? Pretty good? Okay. So this is, let's just pretend this is all the wealth that you will ever accumulate in your entire lifetime. Okay? You know, whether it's, you know, what you earn in income, what you inherit, or whatever. So what we're going to do is, this is a pie chart. So if I were to give you a pen and I would say, all right, now you draw a portion on this pie of how much you would like to give to the Internal Revenue Service, where would you draw the line?
Where the line is there.
Exactly.
No, scratch that line.
Very good. You know, it's nice to know. I mean, this would be ultimate if we could do this. And then we could donate or give money to whomever we choose whenever we wanted. Because I'm sure we wouldn't want to just keep all of our money. We would certainly want to, you know, dole it out accordingly. But anyway, that's what most people say. Every once in a while I'll get somebody that'll go just a little bit, but usually everybody says, you know, I want to keep it all. So that's kind of how I gauge, you know, where people are coming from with their thinking. So let's do another example. Pretend last year we all got together as a group and somebody came in and said, you know, I want to climb Mount Everest. And we decided that, you know, let's do that. Let's train for a year and we'll climb Mount Everest. So say, you know, today we're at the bottom of Mount Everest. We've trained and we're in really good shape now. And we're meeting with our guide. And our guide says, you know, great to see you guys here. And our guide goes, but there's one thing we haven't discussed yet. Would you like me to help you up the mountain? Or would you prefer that I help you off of the mountain? So you only have a choice. What would you prefer? That I get you to the top? Or that I get you safely all the way down?
Safely down.
I'll go up.
Oh, okay, well, do you say up? Okay. The thing about it is, on Mount Everest, is the majority of people that pass away on Mount Everest are coming off the mountain. So, and the same thing is true with financial planning. You know, we save, and we think once we reach the top of the mountain and we've got our pot of money where we're going to retire, that we've made it, but we really haven't. Because that has to generate an income for the rest of our life, regardless of how long we live. So, has anybody seen the movie Mount Everest, or Everest? You should watch that. It is the coolest movie. I mean, it's really, it's intense, but it's a good movie. Anyway, so what I do is I work with my clients on growth, because there's a lot of people that just want to grow quite a bit of wealth, but also on generating income, because that's really important. So some of the things we talk about, is it better to buy a car and pay cash, or would you prefer to take out a loan? Now, the reason I ask that question is because it just depends. So if a pot of money that's accessible, if you wanted to pay off your mortgage, say you had $100,000 left on your mortgage, and you came into a lump sum, $100,000, would you want to pay off your mortgage? Or would you want to keep it in an account that you could pay off your mortgage if you had to, where you're keeping that money liquid? And depending on tax brackets and all, you still may be able to deduct the interest on the mortgage. So just things to think about. I mean, you really, if you look at it, yeah, my mortgage is paid off because at any time I can grab that money and I can pay off my mortgage. But if I were to become disabled or anything like that, I would have to, you know, I would want to tap into it and I may not be able to get it out of that. Oh, I know there was one thing I skipped over here. and this kind of has to do back when I had my first job. But say you wanted to buy a really fancy boat, $100,000, and you didn't have the money, but you really wanted this boat. It was something that would just, it would be great for your family. You could go out on weekends, and you could use it, to take your best clients out on. But you didn't have 100,000. So you came in here, and we're talking, and you just happen to mention to me, not that I have 100,000 sitting around anywhere, but we just pretend, okay? So you come in and you say, you kind of down, man, I'd love to buy this beautiful boat. It's a great opportunity. I said, what's going on? Tell me about it. And I said, well, maybe I can give you a loan. Because my parents taught me that way. 401k plans back then were fairly new, but my parents, the government, financial institutions, and my employer said, max this out, because when you get to retirement, you're going to be a lower tax bracket. Yeah. I don't necessarily know if I want to be in the lower tax bracket when I retire, as opposed to when I was back then. But that's just kind of what we do. So these are just things that I like to talk with my clients about, because there are ways to strategize so that you can actually generate a tax-exempt income at retirement. Because when we put money into retirement plans, and I'm not slamming them at all, because I think they're great and they work, and what they do is a lot of times you have an employer match, and sometimes it's just, we can't all save the way we want to. It's it comes out of your paycheck, and then, you save for the future. It's cool. But when we really look at it, I'll say to somebody, well, how much did you put into this plan? They're like, well, I don't know. So, for example, your account could get to 100,000, and say the market dropped and you were like down to 75 because it was a really bad year. And then, it's a pretty traumatic to see your account go like that. So then, next couple of years now it's up to 105, and you're like, wow, this is really great. But what you don't realize is you've really only made 5% on that money because of what you had lost. So we forget about that when we're looking at retirement plans. And this is just what we talk about. Let's see, in closing, it's just a matter of when I talk with my clients, and a lot of them, like I said, it's about income. We'll get to a certain point in their life where, we're not going to talk about, taxes. We're going to talk about generating an income for the rest of their life. It just depends on someone's age. But one of the questions I ask is, would you like to pay taxes now, or would you like to pay taxes later? Because I think sometimes when we get into retirement plans, we think that we're really, it's tax-free, and it's not. We're just postponing the taxes, because when we say tax-deferred, we think, we don't really think the reality of it, but when you say tax-postponed, it becomes more of a reality. It's, oh yeah, that makes more sense. So what I show my clients is actually a type of account, and it depends on the person that I'm working with, where, say they had 100,000 in their account, and they wanted to take out 30,000 to buy a car. They could actually take the 30,000 out. Nobody's going to say yes or no to them, so it's not really a loan. And they could pay themselves back instead of paying the finance company, and it's like you didn't even take the money out. So in other words, the money continues to grow like it's 100,000, but you've taken 30 out. So if that's a conversation anyone would like to have with me, or if you know young people that are just getting started out, that's the best time to be talking to someone like me about this. But that is me. So thank you for letting me talk to you. And does anyone have any questions? Did I say anything that might make you think a little bit? Yeah. Okay, good. That was the whole point. Like I said, it's mainly just about getting people to start thinking about things, because a lot of times, especially with our retirement plans, is we put money in on a regular basis, and we don't really even look at it until we're ready, until we get to retirement. So, thank you.